Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in today's video we have Sai with us and he is here to share his placement story with us and how he successfully bagged the offer from Danske IT on the role of SDE. So we will be having discussion with Sai on how he achieved this offer, how was the interview process he had went through, and what all the tips that he have to give to all of us. So hi Sai, I hope you are well.
Right.
So can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. So, hi Navya. First of all, thank you for having me here, and congratulations on getting placed at Microsoft.
Thank you.
Okay. So, hi guys. My name is Sai Krishnan P, and I'm a final year undergrad from VIT Vellore. I recently got placed at Danske IT, a subsidiary of Danske Bank, as an associate software engineer. So, I'm from Trivandrum, Kerala. My hobbies are traveling, gaming, puzzle solving, and photography. So, that's pretty much about me.
That's nice to hear. So now we'll come to the main part of the video. That is, we'll discuss about how your interviews were and how this process goes from the online test that you had initially to the face-to-face interviews. So you can talk about it so that we have a clear idea of how that process goes.
So the interview process was almost like any other company interview. So each rounds are like a knockout round. You have to clear one round so that you have to go to the next round. So the first round is an MCQ round, which will be having three sets of questions. The first one will be technical questions, which will be mostly DSA, DBMS, and OS questions. Second one will be mathematical questions, which will be having questions like complete the pattern or like pass marks, so that you have to quickly solve the problem. And the third one will be English grammar based. Like these are all easy to intermediate questions. On clearing this first round, you will be passing to the second round, which will be a coding session. In this coding session, you will be having two intermediate questions, which are evaluated on the basis of the output, correctness, and the efficiency. For this, I would suggest that you improve on your coding skills, because to pass all the test cases, your code has to be really efficient. Like the time complexity should be like n or at least n squared. It shouldn't be beyond that. So these are the things that I would suggest you to keep in mind here. So these are the two online written tests. Hereafter, it will be like a face-to-face interview. So there will be three interview rounds. The first one will be that technical interview, which would be an easy round. In that, they will be asking questions based on DBMS, OS, and DSA debugging. So in this round, they'll be asking you your language of preference. So on coding. So you have to be specific with that, and for that language, you have to be thorough with it. Like all the DSA stuff and all, you have to be and be thorough with that language. And most of the questions will be based on that only. Then there will be the second interview round. That will be also a technical round. So this round will be comparatively little more logical thinking round. Like they might provide a scenario and you have to come up with an optimized and efficient method. So here the critical thinking and the quickly coming up with a good logic plays a crucial role. So also they will be also asking about your project. So it's really important that you list out the projects that you are completely thorough with. You have to be confident in answering any question they ask you about that project, and like properly explaining it to them. And the final round would be the HR session. So in this session, they would mostly be asking about yourself. Well, like you have to say about your SWOT analysis, like what are your strengths, what are your opportunities, and how you utilize this, how you overcome your weaknesses. So they will be asking about your capabilities as a team member or a coordinator also. So here, what I would suggest you to say that if you are in a club or chapter, and if you have coordinated any events of such, you could give that as an example. So that would define you as how a good team member or how well you coordinated event, and that might be a good point you could like present towards an interviewer, which could impress you. So that's basically all about the interview session.
Okay, that's great. So I'd also like to know about the role of CGPA uh, that the interview actually had, right? So was there any kind of filtering based on CGPAs, or what was the criteria that was set by the company related to the CGPA?
So maintaining a really good CGPA is of utmost importance when it comes to placement. So assume it as like CGPA is like the entrance ticket that will take you to the placement process of the company. So in my experience, I would suggest that upholding a really good CGP is crucial because many good companies know they first filter the students based on the CGPA. So it had happened to me many times that really good companies came, but I also really wanted to apply for the jobs and like get a dream placement there. But due to the lack of CGPA requirement, I couldn't even apply for the placement test. So this feeling is really sad. So my advice is don't be sad like me, have a really good CGPA.
Okay, so this can be a great tip because you need a chance to actually sit into the interviews. So from the starting onwards, we should maintain a decent CGPA. That's really a nice tip. So any other tips and suggestions that you have to tell all these students that who are going to sit for the placements maybe in next coming months and maybe who are already sitting for placements? So any tips that would help them in some ways to be prepared for the upcoming interviews?
Yeah, so I would suggest that you really work hard on your projects because, like, please don't find any loopholes in that because you have to present these projects in front of the interviewer and you have to explain it to them. At that moment, it shouldn't be a problem or it shouldn't be a scenario that you don't know how it works or you couldn't convey that properly to him. So, my first advice is to work on your project really well and know everything about it. Then in academics, I would highly recommend that you prioritize subjects like DBMS, data structures, problem solving, and operating system because the technical online test no, they will be framing questions based on these subjects, and also in the interviews they will be asking theoretical questions based on this. And during the start of the placement preparation, I was also I was completely clueless of what is to be done, and it's okay because most of the students are. So don't panic, start analyzing yourself, make sure that you know what all the skills you have and what all sections you have to improve in yourself, create a plan to formulate it. I would suggest stick with one programming language and practice on that. Rather than giving importance to the languages, give importance to the logic behind the question because you might know an algorithm to get that output, but that might not be the best solution. Best solution in the sense that gives an output with better time and space complexity. So like if it's fine with Navya, I could share the SDE Sheet document which I had trained for my interviews.
Yeah, was that the Lover one?
No, it's by take you forward. Like it was a 35-day plan with each days will be having 5 sets of questions. These questions will be also having the links that will be redirecting towards a video. So in that video, what he will be teaching is he will be first teaching the easiest method. Easiest method in the sense that we can come up with, but that's having the worst time complexity.
Brute force approach.
Thereafter, he will be explaining the approach with a better time complexity. So with that video, you could improve your logical thinking and problem solving capabilities.
Yeah,
also, I would
we could include that in the description. That would be really helpful.
Also, I would also recommend that you improve your SQL and database knowledge as well along.
That's nice. So, while talking about your experience, you also mentioned about the project part that some interviewers focus on. They ask you things about it in detail. So that majorly comes when you talk about your resume. So you must have thought about something to how actually did you create your resume that would actually make you stand out of other competitors, right? So how did you go through designing your resume?
Okay, for resume, I would like to say that it should neither be lengthy or it shouldn't be short because if it's lengthy, the interviewer might hesitate to read everything, and if it's short, you would be lacking the valid points that you have to mention in your resume. So you have to remember that the resume is the first impression that you're gonna make in front of the interviewer, so you have to make it perfect. I would suggest that create a resume with a compact and well-organized layout. If you feel that there are any projects or skills that you feel proud or you might think that the interviewer might be impressed, you should definitely put that in your resume. Also, it shouldn't be just your technical stuff. It should also define the character which they would feel appealing. Of course, you should put your technical stuff, but it should also provide examples like how good a team member you are, how good you are in organizing events. So like if you have done an internship in this company, or if you have done a event hosting with a club or a chapter, you could definitely put that in your interview, because these are the essential things that you have to mention, which make the interviewer feel that you are a good candidate apart from technical stuff or technical aspect also. And it's a really good impression that you could make on.
Yeah, that's truly said. This development process, when you get to know your technical plus points and how can you develop your personality, it comes when you enter your college life. So any tips for students who are actually in maybe in the second or third year of their college life, so just to make them help to be more productive during their college days, so that it's fruitful for them also.
Yeah. Okay, so I would suggest that if there are any competitions that happens, like every college will be having competitions like hackathons and everything. So I would definitely suggest that you participate in that. Like you might be having a feeling that okay, you won't be having much knowledge compared to any other like many other students, but you should definitely participate, because that participating itself gives you an experience of how it is there. So with that, you could develop yourself, and you would get an idea of how the things would be happening. Also, I would suggest that join clubs and chapters, because in these clubs and chapters, you would be meeting different kinds of people, and like you would be getting a lot of exposure in that. You would be also hosting events and all, and that would be giving you one like a really good exposure in terms of event managing and how to work as a team. So that is a really good skill or like thing that you could have when you could sit for an interview, or you could explain it to the interviewer. And study extra stuff. Of course, like academics are of really good importance, but there are many stuff that academics don't teach. Like suppose you have to build a new, like there are many trending technologies that are happening nowadays, and these are not, they might not be included in our academics. So I would suggest that go for these trending technologies, have an idea about what they are. If you are feeling that these technologies are interesting to you, work on that. Try to do mini projects which will when you learn these new skills, because it will help you to improve in this field. And consider this as a time period of investing in yourself, because that this is the crucial time as the placement approaches, and you will be panicking because you won't be knowing much regarding this or that. Learning at the prior age, like in the second year, third year, you will be feeling much more relaxed when it comes to the placement seasons.
Yeah, and otherwise, what happens is we just for 4 to 5 months, you know, coming to
Rushing
the
up.
same level as what other students have been because they are practicing from maybe the second year, it becomes a bit difficult and more
Yeah,
challenging also. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
really a good point. So you were also talking about clubs and chapters and the importance of
Mhm.
them. So do you have any experience where you were into a club and chapter, and how did it actually help to shape your personality and your technical skills also?
Okay, so in our college, there's a club, chapter called Siam VIT. So this chapter mainly hosts events based on mathematics, like mathathon, math Premier League. So joining this club in my college was one of the best decision I made, because I like at first I was really hesitant to whether I should join a club or not. But my friend insisted that you go for the interview for the club, see if it's good, and if you don't find it good, leave it. I also went like that. I just casually gave the interview. I got selected, but joining that club, I realized that I could have really good moments. Like I don't know what will be happening right now during online. Online college, but during offline we had this night. What was it called? Night out.
Yeah, you have those night slips.
Yeah, night slip. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So those were really fun moments. Like you could meet new people, learn new things, and like you could have an experience you wouldn't get just by going to the college. So definitely join chapters and clubs, and like there are events that you could host in these clubs and chapters. So these are really crucial things that you can do to like grow your skills in terms of teamwork and or event organizing that I mentioned before. So these things are really appealing for the individuals and the companies, because how could you could how could you could like join a team or be compatible with a team is really a crucial thing when it comes to joining a company. So as you experience this, it could be a really good thing for you in the future, and learning these things are like really good and fun things that you could do in a college life.
I totally agreed because I have also been a part of technical chapter, and I'd also suggest that if you get a chance, don't miss it out. It's not
Mhm.
actually waste of time. Many people think that it's waste of time,
Yeah, even
but
I
it's
thought
not.
like that.
Either it be technical, managerial, or your how your personality is, how you speak in front of others, managing
Hmm.
events. These all really count when you see building your resume, right? So it's the best thing that your college can give you. So my advice will be don't miss it, don't miss on it. So with this, I would like to ask Sai that do you have any final tips that would be, the flagged part of this video, the main important tips that you would like to give as a concluding part?
For final tips, I would suggest that the job market right now is peaking, and a lot of opportunities are there for interns and full-time employees. So make sure that you utilize this properly and get the most deserving job that you are dreaming. So that's the only final tip I could
Thank
give.
you, Sai, for coming up for this video. It was really a great. It is going to be a great help for all the students who are, struggling to get into a good company. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you like it, please do comment, share, and subscribe. So we come to the end of this video. So thank you for watching. Bye.